Hey everyone, and welcome to a premium deck profile of Dragonic Overlord the Cross. The reason why I want to do a deck profile is because I find my old Dragonic Overlord trial deck that I got whenever I started playing the game, and I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do a video. And before we begin, I would just like to ask if you'd like to like, comment, and subscribe before we get into the video. So without any further ado, let's get to the starter and the grade 3s. So yeah, starter, simple as just Lizard Runner Undo. You can go Lizard General Conroe, any V starter, because that +1 really helps this deck, because drawing cards is not this deck's strong suit, so any kind of draw, well, out of the battle phase, drawing cards isn't the strong suit of the deck. But yeah, +1, can't go wrong with Lizard Runner Undo. So pretty simple grade 3 lineup. We got 2 G Cross, 2 V Cross, 2 the ends, 3 the rebirths, and 4 grade 3 heals. So the cross, you either ride the V Cross or the Rebirth as your first ride, because you're essentially getting the same skill. So if you ride the Rebirth, you get to attack twice. And if you get the Cross, you get to attack twice. But you get to essentially PG for free whenever you use the D perfect guards, because the Cross always regards your hand as 0. And you're rolling 2 G Cross for the Legion. That's going to be your final Vanguard swing. That's why we're rolling 2 dotes to the ends, because if you draw 1, there's still 1 in your deck. If there's no way to discard it, if you can't like discard it for PG cost or whatever, you can't always guard with it. However, it's just nice to kind of have the option of having 2, and then just your 3 heals, or your 4 heals, excuse me. The Rebirth, again, you get to lock a card. It's good against Gandiva, because if any of them's cradled, if any of them like can't be rested or can't be stood up, you can just lock it, and that just removes any of the effects. And if you're on 4 damage and you can lock 5 cards, it can swing 3 times. And you can Soul Blast and retire one of your, and for every 2 of your locked cards, you get to retire one of your opponent's rears. So that's kind of good. It's just big swings. We're running Force 2 in the deck, because if you're attacking, you can attack up to 3 times with the Cross. 4 if you get the OT, but yes. Pretty much you're attacking 3 times at Force 2. They're going to have to guard at some point. They're really going to put that pressure on. So yes, very simple grade 3 lineup, onto the grade 2s. 3 Burning Horn, 4 Ignorode, and 4 Break Breath. So these are the D Burning Horn. I'll put like maybe a photo up here or something. Yes, D Burning Horn, it's a 10k beater. You know, Counter Blast 1, search top 7 for an Overlord, and then Counter Charge if you choose not to add 1. And if an Overlord attacks, you just get 5k. So you're swinging 3 times with with the Cross. So you go 1 plus 5k, 2 plus 5k, 3 plus 5k. So it's a 25k beater, pretty much, which is absolutely fantastic, which is really, really good, because you want that kind of pressure after your Vanguard swings, if you need that extra pressure. So yeah, that's pretty good. Ignorode, basically the same, but you need 4 less cards to do it. That's kind of where the V-Cross comes in, because you will automatically have 0 cards in your hand, and you will automatically get this effect to pop off. And whenever you're attacking, you kind of want 4 less cards in your hand anyway, whenever you're using the Ends skill to restand. So that's pretty good. So, 4 less cards, you will more likely have it for Ignorode, but it's mainly a cross searcher. You're looking for top 7, you're checking top 7 of the deck. And you're gonna get a cross like sooner or later if you're playing for Ignorode Dragon, which is pretty good. And you're plus 5k whenever your Vanguard attacks. It's whenever any Vanguard attacks for Ignorode. So that's really good. And Break Breath is just retiring stuff. So you swing with the Break Breath and you get to retire this unit. It gives you units for the Legion, which is really good. It gives you drop for the Legion, and whenever you ride it, you get to retire a rear. And if you don't, then you get to draw 1. So that's why I run 4, just kind of, swing, pressure, draw, retire. You know, you can swing for rears and everything. So very simple grade 2 lineup. One's very, very simple. This is such a linear deck. There's like, you're just swinging, you're just attacking. There's no real strategy to your swinging for game, pretty much. You're putting that on hit pressure. So you're doing one stat, so never place, counterblast, soul blast, draw a card and choose a unit in your back row and retire, in your opponent's back row and retire it. And when rode upon, you get to search top 5 for a grade 3. So it's draw 1 and you'll get rid of a unit in your back row, which is pretty good. It's useful for like blazing if you need it for the for your G units. And then Lava Flow Dragon, grade 3 searcher. If you have more rears than your opponent, gains plus 5k. So a 13k beater whenever it's attacking, hopefully, or boosting. And then your Calamity Tire Wyvern. So you get to Soul Blast and retire, and one of your Vanguards gain 15k. So that's really good. So if you go into, either into your end, you know, you're going to use the end skill. And by the end, I mean the rebirth. If you go into your rebirth turn, you're swinging for 28,000 to crit. Like base 28,000 to crit. Which is very, very fun. Because they're either going to have to really, really guard, waste a PG on their grade 3 turn. It's pretty fun. And you're getting units into your drop for the Legion. So that's pretty good. And then your Twin Buckler Dragon. So for the cross, if you use the cross for your rebirth turn, you have 0 cards in hand, pretty much. So you can just PG for free, which is absolutely fantastic. That's why I kind of run this and not the draw PGs. And also, you just want to run all the crits that we're running, because why not if you're swinging 3 times, a minimum of 3 times in your grade 3 turn. Or in your final grade 3 turn. So yeah, those are just grade 1s. Very simple. Just retiring, gaining power, you know, your PGs. So yes. Finally, now on to the grade 0s. We're just running pretty much 11 crit. There is like nothing fancy here. Just 11 crit. You're drawing that much. You're going force 2. You're just going for pure out there pressure, and then for your final trigger, the OT. That's it. So whenever you pull this, you stand again, and you get to swing once more. It's pretty disgusting. You're swinging for like 100 million, potentially like average of like 3 or 4 crits. So it's pretty good. It's a pretty good feeling when you top deck the OT. But yes, you're just running 11 crits. It can be any 11 crit. I just run 3D crit for the 4 stride fodder, pretty much, just in case you need to stride. We'll get onto the stride deck. We'll get onto that later. But yes, just 11 crits and 1 OT, so that brings up to your 16. So now on to the G4s. Great G4s. The G deck is just very simple. You can run 15. If you're striding in this deck, you're pretty much losing. Yes, the G guards are actually very, very important. Your Denial Griffin, most important card in the deck. You can just counterblast 1, retire an attacking rear, which is pretty amazing. This is essentially a PG if you discard 4. If your opponent has like an empty rear or anything, pretty much it's a free PG. And then this just gains 10k for every card, for every empty rear in your opponent's. So basically you'll be using your Denial Griffin more often than these two, like ever. And then we get to the attackers. So we got Barakat. So if you have if your opponent has 3 or more open rears, it gains plus 10k, plus 1 crit, plus 1 drive. And yeah, so you're attacking with 3 critical, 36,000 and 4 drives, which is pretty disgusting. And then the purge is here just to be funny. You know, if you deal damage and it's the OT, they don't get the effects off, which is funny. You just deal your opponent a damage, and you know, getting 5 drives isn't like awful either. So yeah, it's pretty fine. And then Ziegenberg, GB3, counterblast, you know, retire, then stand and gain drive -2. And, you know, you get to retire an opponent's rear, which is fine. Then your Dumjit Valor, you know, placed, counterblast, retire. If your opponent uses like a Sentinel or a G-Guardian, you can restand it, and this gets drive -1. So, pretty good. Pretty good. They're all blazing, they can all retire stuff. Or these two can retire stuff. Yeah, so you kind of prefer to just keep your grade 3 because they can't Elementario you for free. They can't do any of those kind of shenanigans. If you're using one of these, you're losing. If you're striding, you're losing pretty much. So that's it. That's the basics of it. Yes. Now on to final thought. So that's pretty much it. That is Dragonic Overlord Premium. It's basically the most linear deck you'll ever play in your life. If you just want to have fun with your friends and you just don't really want to think about it, you know, this isn't Tachikaze or like Dark Irregulars or anything. This is literally just swing the Vanguard 3 times and hope you kill your opponent. That's pretty much it. But yes, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video.